Hi everyone, I'm Susan. I hope y'all are doing great. I have finally finished my Dear Julie challenge and I'm so happy. And it is a chunky monkey. But I'm going to keep this journal. I needed an idea journal and there were so many neat new ideas. I've already got a good head start on it. But I'm going to do a flip through. We had a list of things that we had to do. And we had a list of items we had to use. We had to use scraps, or scrap box, trash, accessories, which were beads, pins, charms, stencils, hoarded, book, pages, unused digitals, stamps, texture sprays, inks, envelopes, and remnants, which are fabric, rub-ons, and trims. So one of my hoarded items is this tablecloth. I thrifted it. I loved the color. I went back and forth whether I wanted to cut it, but I opted to go ahead. I knew I probably would never use it as a tablecloth, but I love it. I'm a sucker for red, and the digitals I chose were red, white, and blue of Dear Julie's, and then I had two other digitals that I had to use. We had to use a total of 10 pages at least. We had to do an embellished fabric, embellished cover. My trash, which I'm glad I did, is I used a grocery sack, and it's a soft journal, and it'll expand a lot easier. We had to do charms and beads, so I have this charm dangle, and let's go ahead and get started. We had to do a fabric pocket, and I did one for my front and back, and everything that we did had to have at least 3 embellishments and one from the Stashbuster list, which I just named. So this was one of our little things we had to make. It was a flip-flop. See how did she call it? A flip-flop page with a flap. So I've got my flap. I added a belly band in it, and it does this little, when you open it up, it has that little flip-flop. So that was one of the things we had to make. And I love these, like I said, I'm a sucker for red, and I love this digital kit. Book pages, this was from also hoarded. It was, I thrifted these books that have lace in it, and I've kind of used a few pages that I hung on to others. The other digitals, unused digitals, this was some of Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodahs. And when I coffee dyed it, I got this real cool grungy look. And of course I added splatters. We had to do 5 tabs. So I did 3 kind of like this, and then I did 2 fabric tabs. One of my hoarded items was this, it was a little ruffle that I got in Happy Mail. And I tend to hoard my Happy Mail because I don't get much Happy Mail. And I haven't been doing this for very long, and so I knew the color went perfectly, but I knew that I needed more than 1 ruffle, so I just divided it in half, sewed on a button, added a dangle, and made tabs with it. So we've got that. We had to do a belly band with a mystery. So this is my mystery. You can journal. I just did in stamping. We had to do stamping was one of on our Stashbuster list. So I did lots of background stamping, and I made it a magnetic closure. And this was also, it was a see what they call it, a door after door. And so this is my door after door, where you just open it up. So I tucked it in there behind that belly band. let's see, we had to have 5 uses of guest checks, and I want to thank Amy of Crafty Cat for the 50 stack challenge, because I was a-okay on that one. We had to have a waterfall with 4 flaps. Oh no, this one is the fabric flip with stacker notes. So I've got my stacker notes here, and I just used some more of that tablecloth and decorated it. And I've just used different papers. That's some deli paper, another one of the unused digitals. Like I said, my tab and dangle. I've got lots of charms and beads in here. I've got lots of hoarded scrapbook paper. We had to do a double pocket, double tuck pocket, where you have 2 pockets like that. I used a birthday card I had thrifted and put that in there. I've got lots of extra pages to fill. Since this is an idea journal, it'll come about. We had to do 2 bookmarks. I've got another one further on in. Here's another one of the guest checks, and when I made it, it was a pocket. Book page. If you know, as a journaling, plenty of journaling space. We had to do 2 hidden pockets. No, 2 hidden journaling cards. I'm sorry, it's hard to find where what it is. There's lots of things on here. So it's 2 hidden journaling cards. So this is one of them. And I did this one like this. The other one's different. That's the first time I've made this, and that was fun. And I put a dangle on it. Another, and that was cool because, you know, it was printed out correctly, but when I coffee dyed it and I baked it in the oven, it just gave it this cool grungy look. Another one of my, oh, this is when I did, if you watched my video, my fall video with Amy of Crafty Cat, the 50 Stack Challenge 3, I did those fall cards, you know, like this. Well, while I was making those, I was also making these. And it's got texture paste, because texture was one of our things we needed. So I've got texture paste and inks. So I thought that was cool. And although this wasn't with the time period, I love when you have black and white in front of a modern looking background. And some of these are just things that she had in her kit that I just stuffed the pockets with. I've added in ruffles. Here's my other bookmark. And I just used, I had a master board that I've had for a couple of years, and I just cut that up. And we had to have, I believe it was 2 tags with a purpose. So this one, you've got journaling space, and then I had this little envelope that also has writing space on it. So I just tuck that in there. And it's also a pocket where you can stuff little smaller things on top. And so it just rolls back up. And I just used a tiny paper clip. And that's my pocket with a purpose. I mean, my tag with a job. Tag with a job. That's what it's called. And like I said, these are some more of the pages. Some more of the unused digitals, book page. Like I said, I've got plenty of room to add to it. Another one of my guest checks, that was just a filler. And I just added this pocket because It's an idea journal. I had done it with Roxy's Creation. And this was some garbage that I made a tag out of years ago. Haven't even backed it yet. But that just goes to show you can take anything and embellish it. And I've stuck like writing pages in here from my digitals, my jelly prints and stuff. This was another one of the unused digitals. Another one of those cards. We had to do five cards. We had to do a double tuck. We had to do so many, I think it was 5. We had to do 5 altered paper clips, 5 guest checks, 5 clusters, 5 panel or cover cards, which were 3 by 4 larger. That's what these are, the panel cards. And like they're all textured, all with ink, and added, you know, just embellished with the digitals. We had to do 5 tabs or tab toppers. That was the little tabs I showed you on the side. 2 of our favorite type of card or inserts, which I'll come. I also forgot to mention that this is a hidden, this double tuck has a hidden mystery as well. Here's my other tag with a job. It just has a little pocket on the back, and you can also write on that. And another one of my guest checks. Let's see. We had to do a double tuck. So this is the flap of an envelope, and that's one of my clusters I made. Another one of my cards, the cards I just mentioned. Let's see. I added ruffles and just embellished. Another one of my altered paper clips, and it has a beaded dangle on it. And everything that we made for her had to have at least 3 embellishments. So another book page, another cluster, another one of the digital, no, this is a jelly print page I did. Another one of my clusters and guest check. We had, this is my index card. We had to do 2 index cards. I'm sorry, I'm just running through this, but I do hope everybody's had a great day. Now this was the one I had showed. I did a video on making this. This was that little flip-flop thing. I showed it already. Of course, book page. Another guest check, which was a pocket, you know. Another one of those cards. Another one of my index cards that we had to do. Another altered paper clip. I just kind of did something on the back to make it look prettier. And just, this is some digital of hers. A little envelope, and I just added some paper in there. Of course, I did my splatters. Another one of my cover card things in a cluster. I did some sewing on some of the pages. And these tabs that I did, what I did is I cut them out. I have the dies for the tabs on my Big Shot, and I just, after I cut it out, I ran it through the embossing folder, and then I just used gilding wax to bring out the image. Y'all can tell I'm tired. I haven't been online, haven't been able to watch videos. I've been trying, because I had to have this done by tomorrow. So I have been very busy. I've caught a couple of lives and worked through them. Some more sewing. Another altar paper clip, and this was a hoarded button. This was one of my mom's buttons, so I don't know how old it is, but she had it as long as I could remember. And another dangle on that, which is stuck right now, but my tab with a dangle. Here's my waterfall. Had to have four flips that were embellished, and I just added bling at the bottom. I figured it would weigh it down. You can journal on the back. I stamped on the back, and then I just put a pocket with a little paper and one of her little tags in that. Here's my other hidden journaling spot, and you just open it up and you've got your journaling spot, and it's closed with one of those little tiny paper clips. Okay, another one of those tabs. I really love to have those turned out. Another charm. One of my favorite cards, and this was using masterboard, I believe it was, and then I had texture paste and just different things. It was a masterboard. I think I gessoed it. It was one I actually had in my stash. I used some sprays, and that's my favorite kind of journaling cards to make. We had to make one of these that flips out, which I think was very cool. I've learned so much. That's one reason why I decided just to make this into an idea journal, because there's so many things I haven't tried before, and so it's to me it's very cool to have this idea now that I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's it. My other one. Now this one was a booger, I'm going to tell you. This was our mini challenge. And it was a folio made with envelopes. And the reason why I had so much trouble is we had to do it exact, or as close to exact as we can. But she used regular size envelopes, and I did not have regular size envelopes. So I had to adjust everything. But I thought it turned out pretty good. But it's just a little folio. We've got, we had to do that. Had the little tag and everything. I embellished, stuck, some of these had to have a little bitty pocket there. And I hated it because I had this pretty paper and I didn't want to cover up my pockets. This was my own embellishment. I added that pocket. I thought that was cute. We had to have this one. We could embellish it kind of how we wanted to, but the base had to be exact. And I had to do a few adjustments because like her pocket went all the way across, but mine's longer, and I didn't want to cover up the background that I had already started using. But I just got little things tucked in here. We had the little card here that had a pocket and have a tab. I used one of my, that's another one of those tabs I did. Just pop that back in there. Have a belly band. I just added some stuff in there. And like the journal, it had to be, the things that required had to be decorated. We got this flip that has all the pages. We had to have 2 altered paper clips. Now this was the biggest difference of mine. Now I added that on there because in the pocket on hers wasn't included. But the way my envelope was as high as hers, but it was wider. And so where her pocket came way up here, you know, it made more sense. But I ended up with all this space, and trying to make this work, I ended up having to add on, you know, add glue to extend the flap. So I covered it with a pocket, and I had some of that scrap deli paper that I had stamped. So I used that in the background, and just to make it pretty, I added a rough cluster. I mean, this was a cluster strip that I had sewed. So I've got my little card for that pocket. And then it's the same way with this one. I had to add these little pockets, and I didn't want to cover up my paper, so I used the same kind of paper. So you don't really see the pocket, but it doesn't take away from the paper. It's there. But I've got my journaling card that we did. And then I just put some little tiny labels in there. And we have another card here. And then we had one in the back. Now she didn't cover her back, but I wanted to use that paper. I thought it was pretty. So I did cover mine. Maybe she won't take off for it. And I just tied it up in a closure. Add back in my 2 paper clips. So I use that at the top, and then this one at the bottom. And that one was real simple. I just used some scraps we had, and I had from the kit, had these little tiny roses that fit just perfectly, and I have one on each side. I just added some bling, and when I was doing my other altered paper clips, I had one extra, so that worked out well for me. And I know this was quick. Well, it may not be quick, but I know that I ran through this. I hope y'all like my journal. I put a lot of work in that and a lot of stress. And I won't say I threw a couple of tiny tantrums over this one. It wasn't as much fun as the journal was, but I'm glad I learned how to do it. It was the exact part and trying to make it work when I didn't have exactly the same things. But it's done, and I'm happy with it. I hope Julie will be as well. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it if you haven't subscribed to my channel that you would, and hit that notification bell so you'll know when I upload new videos. And leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I really hope you like this journal, because I really put a lot of my heart into this. And I'm ready for a little bit of normalcy until the next challenge. And this time I won't wait so late to get started. And I have a few other journals I want to be making, which won't be quite as bad because I won't have to be under all of these rules and specifics that I have to do. But I'm looking forward to getting back, and I know that a lot of y'all are wondering how come I haven't been watching your videos. That's because I've been up late trying to get this done, because it had to be done by tomorrow. And the video up and everything posted, and like I said, I think this was the worst thing out of all of it, just because I didn't have the regular size envelope. But like I said, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So y'all have a great, wonderful day, and I'll see you hopefully Sunday with the Marguerite Miller Collage Challenge. So until next time, bye y'all.